The following footage was uploaded to the YouTube channel Dara in February of 2024. In the video, Dara, along with several expert guides, ventured into the off-limits Paris Catacombs to investigate a decades-old disappearance. Around 30 years earlier, an explorer had gone missing down there, leaving behind a camera with his final footage, and their mission now was to retrace his last steps using clues from that video. As they followed this path, Dara emphasized how dangerous the exploration really was. Large parts of the catacombs are illegal to enter and controlled by underground groups, and the guides warned that anyone caught filming down there could be robbed or even attacked. Despite these risks, they went deeper, and the conditions worsened. At times, even the guides became visibly uneasy, saying the tunnels felt endless and that anyone lost there might never be found. Still, they kept pushing on, following the path they believed the missing explorer had once taken, until they realized they had entered a zone inhabited by people living underground. However, as they were navigating their way through this dark section, they suddenly spotted someone coming toward them.
Oh, wow. Okay, so...
Oh my god. Someone literally lives there. That is a bit scary.
Although we're crazy deep in, somehow there's someone that lives down here.
The scariest part about being down here is the people who might run into you.
Okay, there's someone. There's someone. All good?
All good?
We've hidden the camera because, other people might not be happy about this.
So there's some people coming up behind us, people we don't know, and that's kind of scary.
Guys. Shh. I thought I heard something.
Go. We've been told just to move. I think we're so deep that we might be in the civilization area.
We've literally gone too deep. The guides have got spooked.
I'm a little bit shook right now, not gonna lie.
Keep going. Yeah. Are we okay? Let me go front. Yeah. Keep going.
Keep going, okay. Yeah. You remember? Come on. Everyone okay?
No. I had a bit of a...
So there were actually people down there?
Yeah, I know the people down there it is. I mean, I never met them, but I heard some stories. It's just up people.
Oh god. So we've possibly run into the people you don't want to run into.
It was looking like that was where he could have been.
Who was?
Like if someone got lost down there, they're fucked, right?
Yeah, we gotta get out of there.
Yeah, this is a problem. Man, yeah, that was intense.
Yeah,
Let's not die.
Fortunately for the group, things ended far better than they could have anticipated, and everyone ultimately escaped this chilling encounter. Although they were completely lost and confused in the maze of identical tunnels, they somehow managed to choose the right passage and escape without being attacked. It was only after they reached a safe distance and had time to catch their breath that the reality set in. If they had taken even a single wrong turn, they might never have found their way out. The encounter didn't just scare Dara's team, it clearly shook the guides as well. They later explained that large parts of the off-limits catacombs are used by underground communities, cataphiles who see the tunnels as their territory, partygoers who use hidden chambers for illegal raves, and in some cases dangerous individuals secretly living deep beneath the city. Additionally, encounters like the one Dara's group had can turn ugly very quickly, especially when outsiders show up with a camera. This was exactly why the guides had been warning them so strongly about the risks from the very beginning. In the aftermath of these terrifying events, Dara and his team weren't able to fully solve the decades-old disappearance or uncover every detail about the missing explorer's fate, but they still managed to push deep into some of the rarest, least seen sections of the Paris catacombs and come back alive to document what they found. The following footage was uploaded to the YouTube channel Exploring Abandoned Mines in July 2013. In the video, an explorer entered an old abandoned tunnel tucked deep in the Nevada mountains. From the outside, the entrance looked unassuming, a low, dark opening with a trickle of water spilling out, but rusted barbed wire and a faded danger sign already warned people to stay out. The moment he stepped inside, he realized those warnings weren't just for show. He mentioned that the tunnel felt extremely unstable and was flooded with water. He admitted he didn't think it was wise to go very far when a mine was that wet, yet curiosity pulled him a few more steps into the darkness. As he moved deeper, he pointed his light ahead to show how the tunnel continued into the darkness, calling it pretty sketchy and one of the creepiest mine tunnels he had ever been in. At one point he said the place gave off a very bad vibe and that he couldn't shake the feeling he was being watched from somewhere in the dark. However, the situation soon took a very bizarre turn when he noticed one lone chain begin to swing aggressively on its own.
I'll go a few feet further in and check it out, but I think I'm going to pass on this one. This is one of the creepiest mine tunnels I've ever been in, just because of how dilapidated it is and all these chains hanging down from the overhead. And there's a shot looking down the tunnel even further, but looking down the tunnel here, I don't know why that one chain is swinging back there. Don't know if you can see that in the video or not. Yeah, this mine definitely has a very spooky vibe to it. So I'm going to head back out and check out the other stuff that's here. This is just too wet and too muddy. And obviously something is making the chains swing. So time to get the hell out of here. A lot of water everywhere. And there's a shot looking back towards the entrance.
As the explorer stared down the tunnel, that single chain kept swinging back and forth, as if something invisible had brushed past it or was intentionally trying to scare him away. For a moment he was completely frozen, trying to make sense of what he was seeing. His first instinct had been to look for a logical cause, a hidden draft, a loose fixture, or any other definitive answer, but nothing around him seemed to explain it. What made the whole situation even stranger was the complete lack of air movement inside the mine. There was no draft, no wind, and none of the other chains were moving at all. Even if a gust had somehow made its way in, it still didn't explain why only one chain was in motion, swinging with such force while all the others hung perfectly still. In the aftermath of these events, many viewers later flooded the comments with their own theories and speculations. Some insisted it had to be a hidden airflow or vibration in the tunnel, while others were convinced it was proof and one of the most solid pieces of evidence of something paranormal watching him in the dark. To this day, no one has ever definitively explained what happened inside that mine. Whether it was a natural occurrence, a bizarre flaw in the tunnel itself, or something far beyond our understanding, whatever set that single chain violently swinging remains a chilling mystery. The following footage was uploaded to the YouTube channel The Secret Vault in September 2025. In the video, an urban explorer named Matthew ventured into the abandoned MG Rover factory tunnels buried beneath Birmingham in the UK. After finding a way in through the decaying site above, he carefully made his way down into the underground network, squeezing through access points and following old service passages deeper beneath the factory. Down there, the tunnels were long, claustrophobic, and mostly deserted, lined with old rusted fixtures and broken up by countless side corridors where someone could appear without warning. As Matthew made his way through the tunnel, he began to hear strange sounds echoing in the distance and grew increasingly suspicious that he might not be alone. Yet he was unsure whether the noises were simply water and wind, or if someone was actually moving around in the darkness with him. Throughout his exploration, there was always an uneasy feeling that someone could suddenly appear around a corner in those tight underground spaces, and the lack of clear exits made the thought of being confronted or cornered genuinely disturbing. Even so, he chose to push on, following a distant light ahead and making his way deeper into the underground system. However, as he walked through that section, he suddenly heard dogs and human voices up ahead in the tunnels.
Right, to give me a minute. Looking your dogs out there now. He's in there. They're in there. Shit. For fuck's sake, I had to go and kick a piece of the thing, didn't I?
It had become clear that the individuals ahead had heard the accidental noise he'd made earlier and were now deliberately making noise in Matthew's direction. Realizing this, he began walking away, trying to put as much distance as possible between himself and whoever was up ahead. From the barking and the way the voices echoed through the tunnel, he suspected they were workers or security guards with dogs, patrolling the area and sweeping the underground for trespassers. Even after he backed off, the voices kept echoing around him, spread out and circling the area, until it no longer felt like a chance encounter, and instead like those people were on high alert, actively searching for him somewhere in the tunnels.
They're way down there now. He's there now, saying nobody's here. Just wait for it to calm down. Just wait for this shit to calm down.
By this point, Matthew realized that the individuals inside had noticed him at some point and were now actively searching the tunnels, which forced him to hide in a narrow side corridor for several agonizing minutes. Fortunately, the situation eventually calmed down and the voices slowly began to fade away. Seizing the chance, he started looking for a way out and walked toward a light at the end of the hall, only to discover it was a dead end. With no other escape route he could see, and knowing that staying there any longer would almost guarantee he was caught, he made a risky decision. He turned back and headed straight past the area where he had last seen the individuals, hoping he could slip by unnoticed and finally make his escape. However, before he could even put that plan into action, he heard a vehicle pulling up nearby, and then angry voices shouting at him from the darkness. Once he finally made it out of the building, his adrenaline was through the roof. Yet even then, things didn't feel truly safe. Out in the open, he could still hear the distant barking of dogs and the muffled voices of people searching the site, sweeping the area to try to track him down. He he hurried away from the factory grounds as quietly and quickly as he could, somehow managing to slip off undetected and reach safety. Only after putting real distance between himself and the factory did he fully grasp just how narrow his escape had been. While he'd been down in the tunnels, he had come dangerously close to being caught multiple times, hiding inside passages, killing his light, and staying completely silent as footsteps, voices, and dogs passed just meters away from him. Each close call felt like it could be the moment they turned a corner and spotted him, but every time he managed to stay just out of sight and slip a little farther away. Nevertheless, Matthew was incredibly fortunate in the end, because if he hadn't gotten out when he did, the search would likely have closed in on him, and the dogs would almost certainly have found him sooner or later. If you've enjoyed the video so far, it would mean a lot if you considered subscribing. Over 95% of you watching haven't subscribed yet. Your support really helps the channel grow, and in return, I promise to keep bringing you guys the best quality content. Now let's get back to the video. The following footage was uploaded to the YouTube channel Teresa Matsura in October of 2025. In the video, the creator and a friend set out to document the infamous Meiji Tunnel in Japan. The main purpose of the trip was to specifically record ambient sound for her podcast, treating the visit like a field recording session rather than a typical exploration. The Meiji Tunnel had long been associated with ghost stories and hauntings, often tied to tales of accidents and even deaths during its construction. Local rumors and online posts alike described it as a place where people heard unexplained voices, cries, and footsteps, which is exactly why Teresa chose it as a sound-gathering spot for her episode on haunted tunnels. At the start of their video, it was quiet, controlled, and everything seemed perfectly ordinary. They recorded exactly what they had come for: the natural ambience of the tunnel, the echo of their footsteps, the distant rumble of traffic above, and the soft drip of water along the walls. However, about halfway through the session, the calm atmosphere broke when both of them heard a strange noise echoing from somewhere deeper inside the tunnel. As soon as the sound rang out through the tunnel, both of them felt a sudden drop in their stomachs. It wasn't the usual background noise of dripping water, passing cars, or distant footsteps they were accustomed to hearing through their headphones. Instead, it resembled a distant cry or screech, something that felt uncomfortably close, yet impossible to locate precisely. For a brief moment they stood frozen in silence, listening intently, trying to confirm if they had really heard what they thought they had. However, just as they were starting to talk it through and make sense of what had happened, the noises echoed again, forcing them to confront the possibility that this wasn't just a one-off sound, but something that was still there with them in the tunnel. After hearing the sound echo through the tunnel multiple times, their initial assumption was that it had to be an animal. In Japan, tunnels and mountain roads are often home to foxes and other wildlife, so they guessed it could be a fox, a stray dog, or some other creature calling out somewhere in the darkness. They later decided to investigate further and move deeper into the tunnel, following the direction the sound had come from and checking every corner where something could have been hiding. But despite their efforts, they found nothing, and the tunnel was completely empty. All that remained was the fading echo of that strange cry and the lingering sensation that something had just been there moments before. Ultimately, no one can say for certain what caused that sound. It might have been an animal distorted by the tunnel's acoustics, or perhaps something far more sinister, connected to the haunted reputation of the Meiji Tunnel and the many stories of disembodied voices and cries people claim to hear there. In March of 2024, an American YouTuber named Zach uploaded a chilling video titled "Scary Run-In with a Humanoid in a Storm Drain" to his channel, Into the Void. His channel features a total of only 4 videos, which are all centered around his journey exploring a storm drain tunnel in Colorado Springs. The first 2 videos are an introduction where Zach sits in his car and explains the tunnel's history and how he found the location to his audience. The third video follows him as he ventures into the woods to locate the tunnel. The fourth and final video shows him finding the tunnel and eventually entering it to begin his exploration. The initial minutes of this video are pretty standard, with Zach engaging with his viewers as he navigates deeper into the underground tunnel system. Zach then continues exploring and reaches a particularly dark part of the tunnel. However, as soon as he stops at that section, that's when he encounters something truly unexplainable.
Hello? Anyone here? This is the spot where it closes off a little bit. I'm really not looking forward to this. I don't know what that was. I need to take a breather. What the f? Nope. I'm dipping out. Fuck this shit. I don't know what that is. Oh fuck.
As soon as Zach heard the scream, he initially froze and stared in the direction of the sound to determine its source. However, after constantly hearing the noise originating from the end of the tunnel, he immediately turned and desperately started running in the opposite direction. Fortunately for Zach, he managed to escape the underground tunnel without sustaining any major injuries. To make matters even more disturbing, Zach later mentioned that he had spotted a mysterious creature at the end of the tunnel and described it as completely pale, appearing sickly and emaciated. He also noted that the body had a somewhat human form, and the face resembled that of a horse, but without a pronounced snout. Zach found the entire encounter incredibly strange and compared the creature to the Pope Lick monster, or a skinwalker. However, based on everything Zach experienced inside the tunnel, particularly the loud growling noise, it seems very unlikely that he actually encountered either of these mythical creatures. It's more likely that the noises were either caused by a mountain lion or a bobcat.
What the fuck?
Given the nature of the scream, it seems more likely that the noises were made by a large cat rather than a supernatural being. And also considering the fact that Zach was exploring a tunnel in Colorado, this theory becomes even more plausible, especially since both mountain lions and bobcats are native and present throughout the region. Plus, the animal could potentially even be at the end of the tunnel, which could explain why the scream had an extremely eerie and echoey tone to it. Ultimately, it's up to you to decide whether the noises were merely caused by an animal or if it was something far more sinister.